Hello everyone, welcome to my entry for the 2018 NYX Face Awards. So to start off this Medusa look, I took an eyebrow pencil and sketched out the basic shapes, first being the rocks on my forehead. I wanted to reference Medusa's power of turning people to stone, all while putting my own twist on her look. I stuck to more round shapes, not only because they fit better along my brow line, but also because the shapes mimic the scales on the top of a snake's head. Next, I sketched out my nose shape, making it wider to hide my own nose before moving on to the lips and the sides of my face. Later on, these strips will become the scales on the sides of the mouth of the snake. I repeated the same rock pattern on my chest and then moved on to the eyes. Using a NYX Black Bean Jumbo pencil, I just put down a base on the corners, kind of keeping it close to like a triangle before going in with a black eyeshadow and blending that out into a cat eye. Doing the same on the inner corner to form a halo eye. And I used the teal shadow from the NYX Full Throttle palette to fill in the center. And now we can move on to the colors. Taking a teal water activated body paint, I filled in the two largest parts of my cheek and half of the two triangle shapes near my mouth. Took an orange body paint and filled in all the nose area, making sure that no skin is showing anywhere. Going back to the eyes, I took the same black paint and elongated my lower lash line and the inner corner to make a more reptilian look, also extending the wing way out using the bottom lash line as a guide. Fill in that new space it's made with the NYX Jumbo Pencil in Milk and set it with white eyeshadow. Using a dark blue body paint to blend into the teal and up into the eyes for an ombre look. Sorry, I jump around a lot, so taking that same orange body paint, I fill in the two strips up my cheeks and my chin, leaving my lips empty so I could eat and drink during this whole thing. And I added that same dark blue body paint to the triangles near my mouth and in the corners of my eyes. And then filling it in the large left cheek sections with that same dark blue body paint. I took a neon orange body paint and went over that darker orange so it would make it pop more, and it really stood out along with the teal. Now on to the rocks. I took a light gray body paint and filled in each one, going up into the hairline in some places before going in with the dark gray, outlining each shape and blending the color inward for a bit of texture and shading. With a black body paint, I filled in all the negative space in between the rocks and lightly dragged the color along the outside of the shapes to break them up from each other. and bringing that color into the hairline as well to hide my skin and have it fade into the green of my hair. Using the same eyeshadow and black pencil as before, I shaded along the rocks to give them the illusion of sitting slightly off my face, casting a shadow downward, and continued the black from the eye look, filling in all the empty space that was still skin tone left over. Now onto the chest. Using the same blue potty paint, I took a thinner paintbrush and started making little circle shapes. It's much easier to just watch than for me to explain, because I basically just doodled my way down the chest piece, keeping the shapes and spacing as organic as I could and letting the brush do most of the work. With a beauty sponge, I took those same blues from the face and I created an ombre from back to front, from the dark blue to the teal, and the teal into the chest piece. And the rocks are done the same way as on my face. Light gray, dark gray outline, blend inward, and then outline it all in black. And since you could still see the lower part of my arms or shoulders, I took those same blues and just blended them downwards anyway, just to hide any skin tone from the camera.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left.
Fill in the center of the chest piece with the same darker orange base, followed by the neon orange paint on top to make it pop and match the cheeks.
Through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays, and on we'll go. Through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
And there we go with the black paint, filling in all the negative space once more and outlining all the rocks.
Finding life along the way, melodies we haven't played. No, I don't.
Now on to shading the face. I took a dark blue eyeshadow and shaded the nose section, cutting into the orange just below the corners of each of my nostrils, and shading downwards to make it seem like the nose is lifted and 3D, and just reinforcing that shadow with a very opaque black shadow. Double shadow. Shadowception.
We'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
And I take those same two shadows, dark blue and black, and shade along the rocks to give them that same 3D lifted off the skin feel, casting a shadow onto the blue. And up next, the most satisfying thing ever is outlining everything in black. Taking the black paint, I outline the bottom half of the two cheek sections and then drag little lines upward about an inch or so apart to make the scales on the side of the snake's mouth. And I top each line off with a black oblong dot, which is meant to be the heat pits all snakes have. A fun little fact, snakes see in infrared, meaning they see in heat signatures. And most snakes have these little dots, 4 on each side, just under the nostrils. I fill in all those little weird organic shapes with the black paint so they really can stand out against the orange and the blues. And I bring those shapes all the way up onto the dark blue of the triangles near my mouth. And now outline the entire chest piece. With the blue section, you outline it in black so it breaks it up and helps it stand out from the orange, and it also helps it stand out from the teal on the other side. Taking those same dark blue and black eyeshadows, I shade along the chest piece to kind of break up the colors because it was still too pristine for my liking. And I made these collarbone rib shapes off camera because something just still wasn't right about the chest. Now taking a dark orange eyeshadow and starting to blend it, sketch out the lines and blend them downwards for the belly scales. And shade the color downwards somewhat in the center of the line so it looks like the scales overlap. Fill in your lips because we're at the home stretch, people. Almost done. Now looking straight on into the mirror, I'm drawing these two lines that will eventually become the snake's nostrils, thickening them up and continuing the line from the inside of my own nostrils down further onto the lips so it still looks like this one long slit. Black dotting seemed like an absolute must. Not only because it's giving our bright snake lady a neat pattern, but it's also breaking up all the bright solid colors and giving the eye something else to look at besides just neon. Highlight your belly scales and along the collarbone rib things that we made on the chest. I painted my ears off camera, and I think we're missing something. Hold on. There we go. The snakes are made out of air dry clay, tinfoil, and glued them onto an old headband, and then just painted them to match what my body was going to look like. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I guess I'll see you in the next one. Bye, everybody.